The road to the White House runs through Missouri. Tonight, all eyes are on the Democratic race for president.
Let's take a look at the results in Missouri right now. Joe Biden scores a huge win. A lot of political experts expected this race to be closer. Remember, Sanders only lost by a fraction of a point in 2016. KCTV5 political analyst Pete Mundo from 710 KCMO Talk Radio and former Kansas City Mayor Sly James are here to help us break down the results and where the race goes from here.
Yeah, obviously, guys, a huge night for Biden, not only in Missouri, but also in Michigan, too. Sly, I'm going to start with you. What is Biden doing all of a sudden that obviously Sanders is not?
I think that perhaps the labeling of Bernie Sanders as a democratic socialist is starting to take hold. First of all, I don't know that people really understand the difference between socialism and communism, but they sound close, and that's enough to scare a lot of people. But I also think that Biden is a more comfortable fit for a lot of people. Sanders represents some really radical change, and I don't think that people are always very happy with rapid and radical change. I always used to say that people don't like the way things are, but they absolutely hate change. And Sanders is the epitome of change.
Pete, who saw this revival of Joe Biden coming?
Well, we were here about a month ago, and I said after the debate, Amy's got to drop out, Pete's got to drop out, and I don't know if they were watching us, but they did drop out. But to Sly's point, they realized that they cannot nominate a guy for the top of the ticket that would destroy him down the ballot in suburban areas that they have to hold to keep the House of Representatives. They realized that, so the party, to its credit, coalesced around Joe Biden. But to Sly's point, the best thing Joe Biden has going for him right now is that he's not Bernie Sanders. So he's still got to find some type of platform that works. I was at his rally on Saturday, and a lot of people there were not original Biden supporters. They were Pete, they were, Klobuchar, they were Warren. They weren't like, Joe's my guy. So Joe's got to figure out how to make sure those people turn out in November, or just make it such an anti-Trump wave that they go and vote against the other candidate.
Interesting. All right, we have some exit polling results. CBS asked Missouri voters what issues are most important to them. Healthcare topped the list at 48%. 19% said income inequality, and 18% said climate change. 9% said race relations. So do those figures surprise either one of you?
No, not at all. And as a matter of fact, I think the healthcare issue is probably the main driver of a lot of the change right then and there. There's a lot of people who have some form of insurance. They kind of like what they've got, or they're afraid of what they could get. To have a mandated program where everybody moves en masse to one governmentally controlled system, I think is scary for a lot of people and somewhat cumbersome. And to this day, I still don't think that Mr. Sanders has really explained the cost of that system, and that cost would be huge. Going back to the original Obamacare plan is something that people started to get used to. I was amazed at how all of a sudden it became so popular when Obama wasn't around. When he was around, it was very unpopular, and that was true even in the Democratic Party. But now people understand that if they had some option for insurance that was affordable and that they had some choice in, that's a better option than being forced into a government control system.
Healthcare is obviously a huge topic, and honestly, we're in the middle of a health crisis at this time. So, it certainly is on the front center of people's minds right now.
And it will be. If the economy holds, which we don't know what these next few weeks and months are going to bring with what's going on right now, healthcare is going to be the issue that Democrats try to drive people to the polls on, because the Republicans, in fairness, have not had a good response or platform on the issue of healthcare. They just haven't. They've said they didn't like Obamacare, and if you gave us power, we'll get something better. We gave them power, and nothing better came, and they haven't had a solid platform on that issue. Democrats, to their credit, have exploited that. So the Republicans have to figure out what their issue, what their platform is on healthcare.
So we're moving forward. Ohio's next. Other people are going to be voting. Is this going to be a Biden-Trump race? What do you think?
I think it's shaping up like that for sure. I think that I don't see Bernie being able to modify his message in any material way that's going to make a difference. And I think his message, although certainly I understand his desire to have change, and there are certainly things that need to be changed, but people in this country are used to slow, gradual change as opposed to radical, rapid change. And swinging from one end in the Trump administration to the exact opposite in just a very short span of time is not something that we're we're comfortable with, and I don't think people will buy it. I do think, however, that Biden has to come up with a better message than "I can beat Trump." He has to recognize that things have not been working the way that they should, and he has to talk to people about the things that haven't been working in their lives and find some solutions to those problems that are pragmatic and doable in a Congress that is yet to be formed, but could very well still be majority Republican in the Senate.
Just a few seconds left. Is Bernie Sanders done?
Yeah, Bernie's done. The only thing to add is Democrats thought they had the candidate to beat George W. Bush in 2004 and John Kerry, and it didn't work out for him. So just be careful about the guy who's the most winnable candidate, or the candidate that can win the race.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. We
Thank
always
you.
appreciate it. Of course, Sly, Pete, and Joni Wickham, they will be joining us throughout the 2020 campaign, so keep it right here on KCTV5 for in-depth election coverage and analysis. A lot has changed in just a short period of time this campaign season. It certainly is interesting.